You're about to see a robbery that's extremely nostalgic. It's a brand new robbery, but it elicits a feeling of nostalgia. It reminds me of the first Fast and Furious movie where they were stealing DVD players. These gentlemen are attempting to steal this TV off the wall, which I find super odd because no one really steals TVs anymore. They're very hard to move, they're less expensive than something smaller like an iPhone, and just really you don't see a lot of TVs being stolen anymore. But these guys must be like thieves that time traveled from the early 90s to late 2019, and they're just confused by the scary future. But you know, they see TVs like, shit, they still got TVs. Yeah, boys are back in action, let's steal this bitch. It's probably still worth it. Unfortunately, the security camera doesn't capture any sound, but if it did, you'd probably be hearing the Benny Hill theme being played over the loudspeaker, and this guy right here that's fucking DJ turntabling the TV on the wall shouting for help. Luckily, there was a vigilante in the area hearing the cries, but I guess those windows must be clean as shit because he thought that one was open instead of the broken one next to him, so he hits that like a dog trying to come inside but hitting a glass door. The cavalry arrives and they get their third friend opening the trunk, which is just very overconfident, thinking they're actually going to get this TV off here. And this must be just the slipperiest goddamn glass of all time. It's like they're on an ice skating rink. Now finally, after windmilling the TV for 30 seconds, they finally rip that bitch off the wall and luckily break it immediately, so they get nothing out of this, and they keep slipping and sliding all over the place. It's like there's fucking butter on the bottom of their shoes. Then finally, the mastermind, the supervillain, the real muscle behind the operation, hops in the driver's seat and peels out. They may have left empty-handed, but at least their pride is intact. Their spirits were probably still high, and I imagine they drove away looking for the nearest Radio Shack or Blockbuster to rob next. Let's go through this one more time and watch the slippery bandits in action again. I've mounted a few TVs in my day, but I've never seen one with this kind of range of motion. I've never seen one that you could spin like a fucking washing machine. His tactics also don't make sense because he's going with it, he's trying to like unscrew it and then kind of like kick flip off it. I don't even know if these two guys know each other. This guy comes from way downtown, like out of fucking nowhere for a surprise RKO. I can't imagine that they plan to be this far away from each other. This might just be like a really nice coincidence, like shit, I was trying to rob this place too, fuck it, this guy's already here, let's try and help. Damn, we're not strong enough to help, and it's super slippery. No doubt his hands are sliced up from landing on that glass, but he's a trooper, so he doesn't let the pain bother him. He goes and rips that TV off. At this point it wasn't about stealing it, it was about teaching the TV a lesson. You don't fuck with the slippery bandits. That fucking TV thought it could make these guys look stupid? Unbelievable. No one makes these guys look stupid. I don't know if they got caught or anything, but I imagine if they did, they'd probably just immediately go to jail and hope that the video never surfaces. Like they're in the fucking courtroom. I didn't do it. Well, we have video, you did it. Fuck it, don't show it. I did it. Just please don't show it. It's gotta be real fucking embarrassing. But yeah, that's it. So yeah.
Neither of them.
Oh, Steve from Blue's Clues is out.
Judge Buzzard springs into action. And it's on.
Like the judge is going after them on foot
the
himself.
Two escapees are in handcuffs and prison-issue sandals.
Oh, he ate shit. He's like the Terminator out here.
This bright orange clue here.
He's just slow riding
They
it.
made it to the third floor.
Uh-oh. Here he comes. Man, this guy loves
And now to the
justice.
second, just one floor away from freedom.
Oh god.
Buzzard is gaining some ground.
Judge Buzzard! About to fucking eat him! Oh!
The judge tackles the lagging defendant just outside the
Damn
exit
it.
to the building. Both have second-degree escape added to
Yep,
their
there you go.
charges.
I didn't try to escape to get out. I tried to escape to get well, and I tried to do what I could, do what I could do to get my drug addiction.
What?
We're heading out to Jackson, Michigan. To the
Okay.
Fourth Circuit
I mean, I
Court.
guess that makes sense. He was just running from the courthouse to rehab. He didn't want to wait.
This man, Jacob Larson. This incident's a violation of a restraining order against Jacob.
All those messages were like, a lot of them were like last year. I mean,
Man, you really can't afford like a usable camera here. This quality is abominable. It's like a fucking picture of Sasquatch.
4 months earlier.
Yeah, I know, but it's like this, like, fatal attraction.
Are there even people here? This is just like a video game glitch, like when you go out of
I
bounds.
told you. You know what? I told you to leave her alone. And apparently that.
Oh, please fight again. God damn it, I want to see it again.
Today, you're going to jail for the jail.
you and her are all
Hey, you know what? You got a bad attitude. You got a bad attitude last time you were in court. Okay?
You and her are buddy. Y'all get along.
He's probably fucking your girl. What do you think about that?
County jail. You want to go for a year? Try it right now.
Do it.
One more
He's
night,
bluffing. He doesn't have the power.
over Facebook.
You're going to jail for a year in the county. 365 days county jail.
What do you mean you can't? It's crazy how many people say you can't do that. He's the fucking judge, like, what do you mean? This man can tell you you have to stand on a corner with your butthole flexed in front of a traffic light if you wanted to.
Put your hands behind your back. Get to know you all too much.
It holds true. The quickest way to tell when someone's an insufferable asshole is when they call themselves a good person or a nice person. That's how you immediately know that you will never like that person, and they certainly are not good or nice.
As he pulls out what appears to be
He's going in!
no one seems to notice until
He's making a statement.
shockingly he lights up. And this time it's noticed immediately.
We the people deserve better.
Oh, what a hero.
Finally,
My man.
this case.
We the people deserve better.
And on that day, weed was legalized.
Immediately taken away by the court officer, slapping Boston with a disorderly conduct charge, as well as another charge of possession.
But he can sleep easy at night knowing that he was on the side of justice and brought change. The joint that changed everything.
There's a lot of things that you can do, and your life doesn't have to be over.
It is a useless law, but that was such a fucking dumb idea. Like, what did he expect? My god, he's so brave. That's it, I'm changing the law right now.
Apparently here's some snickering from Casal's family sitting in the gallery.
What the
You
fuck?
can go too. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile.
No, throw her in jail, fuck that. If I was a judge and heard that, she'd be going right to jail, fuck her.
You cannot come down
What
to
a
the
piece of
Frank
shit.
Hall of Justice. Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive
Oh, fuck
and
yeah.
disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct
Woo!
contempt.
Now that's what I'm fucking talking about. Well,
Orders restored.
it's been a while since I've had a full-blown justice boner, and that just triggered it. I wish it was more than 93 days, though.
15 years.
Donna seems to have learned a serious lesson from just one night behind bars.
Don't you fucking dare let her out.
Miss Carson, is there something you'd like to say?
Yes, I deeply apologize.
In fact, laugh at her. Laugh at her. Laugh in her face. A hearty belly laugh. Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha.
Apologize.
Judge reprimands father of 40 children. Holy shit. 40?
Next, we're in Miami, Florida, where Judge Nushin Safey's about to
Thanks, Brian
recognize a
Christ.
familiar name on her bond hearing docket.
Johnny Ray Smith Jr. Oh my God.
These two have a storied history, and you're gonna hear all about it. In that same case, Smith revealed to the court that he had fathered more than 30 children.
God damn.
Remember she was pregnant and she had another kid, so I'm at 40 now.
Holy shit.
That's your argument? Wait.
All of a sudden, two people in the chat are like, wait a minute.
No, not
That's
that.
my dad.
No, listen, I never went back to the house. I never called.
You didn't listen to anything I said.
No, I did. I left.
She seems a little interested. She's playful with you. You might be looking at another 10 children coming up soon.
Smith's charges today.
As well as the allegations before the court at this point in
Just
time.
make it clear that my history with him is as a judge.
Mr. Smith.
You're not staying there, correct?
So what is he here for? Just to like brag about how many kids he has?
Mr. Smith, just
Ditched
answer
her with
yes
2
or no.
kids. Condoms, use them.
Okay.
That's
Thanks for
fucking
being
nuts.
a fan of Court Cam.
40 kids. Holy shit. Man caught with drugs in the courtroom, huh?
Filled with some kind of powder. He's not entirely sure what it is. So he has it tested.
He snorts it.
It turns out to be cocaine.
Jackpot.
So the court
Are these the potential suspects?
and this man steps up to the gate. Watch closely as he moves his hat. One more time.
Why would he bring cocaine here? And put it in his hat, of all places, the worst place to put it.
Arrest. Thanks for being a fan
What
of
a,
Court Cam.
what a fucking horrible idea. That's like the one place and one hiding spot you would never want to use. Man gets 100 days for sassing the judge. Good. Let's see the sass.
So I'm gonna raise the bond
I hope
to
he earned
5,000.
it.
We have
actually have a car that I'm trying to sell on Craigslist.
Stop talking. I'm gonna give you a public defender. Michael Ray.
Hey, he was just trying to sell his car.
Next up is Michael Ray.
He committed a crime just to plug his car.
4 charges.
The county's requesting $25,000 full cash.
Hey, thanks for the 5 gift subs. Everyone loves Ray. Thank you, Ray.
You think that's funny?
I think that's hilarious.
Sarcasm won't get him a reduction, and the judge lets him know it.
He's lucky I didn't hold him in contempt.
Ray just had his bond doubled,
Nice, let's triple it.
but as he re-enters the hallway,
And then he can negotiate it down.
Bring him in.
This guy's watched way too many anime moments here. He thinks he's like really badass.
Ray's language isn't the only thing to upset the judge. According to court officials, the defendant also gave her the middle finger, when, sure enough, Ray comes back for more.
Here he comes. Sir, I'm holding you in contempt for what you did.
What's your holding me, man?
And so...
You shut it, man. You
Alright, you can take it
back.
That's right.
That felt like something right out of GTA RP.
He's done.
I think we need to.
Yeah.
Can we bring him back?
Yes.
What started out as 4 serious charges has grown into a grand total of 10.
Nice, go for 20, don't be a bitch.
Yeah. No, I figure that's just a
That definitely cut deep on the lawyer being called the useless like that.
Thanks for being a fan of
He didn't
Court
like
Cam,
that.
where it's very early on a Sunday morning, and all is quiet. Until...
Oh, shit! I was expecting that, but I thought it was gonna be like a garbage truck.
Their pickup right through the front of the building to steal an ATM machine just off camera.
Oh.
This is just
Oh,
one
wow.
of a series of recent
Oh,
break-ins involving
I see.
ATMs just as the truck hits the gas to dislodge the ATM. With nothing more than what appears to be a bare cash deposit box,
Nice.
thieves come up empty and drive off.
What do you mean empty? They were there for that little
3
box.
days later, after the courthouse boarded up the windows,
This is some fucking straight up Tom and Jerry shit.
Finish the job.
Angel Lopez, Thomas Ortega, and Toby Perkins are arrested and charged with theft.
Could they have woken the guy in the top left up for his mugshot at least?
Their lookouts. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to
Holy
A&E
shit. So they actually did get money out of them? Isn't it extraordinarily difficult to actually break into one of those? Like, here, let me see. What would I type in to find that? Maybe this would work? Well, yeah, now it just looks like I'm planning a crime here. In case any of you have been feeling a lack of self-esteem or a bit hard on yourself, I wanted to show you a video that will prove that no matter what's going on with you, you will never be as pathetic as the man I'm about to show you. This is a video that I've thought about for quite a while now. This happened in 2013, and I'll think about it and just remember, you know what? At least I'm not that guy. And hopefully it'll do the same for you. So this is an attempted robbery here by the Hamburglar. He's doing us the favor of showing us his face before putting his mother's pantyhose over it. And then he comes back into frame looking like fucking Goofy here, about to commit a felony. He's got a brick armed and ready, launches that bad boy, it doesn't work, he panics, trips, falls a couple times, and then scurries off. One of the finest crimes our nation has ever seen. A smooth operation. This is up there with the Zodiac Killer when it comes to mysteries. In fact, this man was never caught. Probably because the detectives were too busy laughing at him, but they never did catch this man. He could be out there still terrorizing meat stores to this day. Throwing bricks, bowling balls, perhaps even dropping full grand pianos through them, Looney Tunes style. This menace is still out there. And this is all we have to identify him, and the only proof of his existence. It's like a cryptid. We basically caught the not-so-slender man here. This guy is fucking incredible at everything involving disasters. It is perhaps the worst attempted robbery ever recorded. He's actually kind of a pioneer when it comes to attempted robberies, because this isn't the standard meta of robbing a place for money. Because this isn't a place where there would be any money in the shop or in the cash register. It's a fucking meat store. They only sell meat. So the only motivating factor here, the goal, wouldn't be money, it'd be more meat. Which is truly innovative, I would say. in the crime game. Just look at the way he's dressed. He looks like he's trying to audition to be a backup dancer in an old Bee Gees music video. I'd like to just play this one more time, start to finish here, because it's a masterpiece disaster. He must have just seen a brick as he was going for a midnight stroll, and then hatched this genius scheme here to get some more meat, but it all went downhill when he was defeated by the vibranium glass door. Real shame. Every time you see a robbery in a movie or something, it's always super impressive. They'll have like these incredibly well laid out plans, full-blown Ocean's 11 type shit, where they'll have like a getaway driver, 15 aerospace engineers on standby just in case they need them. They'll have like Jimmy Neutron in the lab cook up some crazy device to break into the big vault for millions of dollars, and it just always seems like, damn, you have to be a galaxy brain, 10-digit IQ mastermind in order to be a professional criminal. But then when you watch like a heist or a robbery in the real world, it's nothing like the movies most of the time. The plans are laid out in crayon 3 seconds before executing them. They're not looking at building blueprints. They turn their brain off and just go fucking wacky. They get Insano style. So, like, they'll just run in there, like, grab, like, 5 things and then just, like, shuffle out the door, and that's the extent of it, and then they get caught 5 minutes later. And today I saw a robbery that I think is probably one of the worst ones ever recorded. It is just, I feel bad for the guy. Like, watching him rob it is agonizing because it's so incredibly slow. This dude robbed a Little Caesars in, like, -5 times speed. I felt like I was watching an NFL replay while watching this man try and rob the cash register. They filmed him for over 1 minute and 30 seconds. He just sat there trying to rob them. At first glance, I thought this was Pay Money Wubby robbing the place, and I thought to myself, God damn, he is really doing everything he can to get to the bottom of his turd kebab mystery. But then I realized that this is just like a generic default character in GTA Online. This was just like a preset. This guy is coming in here not even trying to disguise himself. Like, he didn't even bother to cover his face. He put on sunglasses, but they're too loose and they keep falling off. It's a disaster. It's like robbery ASMR. He's not talking, the employees are just kind of making fun of him. It's just like they're roasting him. No one's taking him seriously. It's so unbelievably goofy. And the thought process here to rob a Little Caesars. Bro, the pizzas are $5. How much money do you possibly think you can get from the cash register? He was better off just taking the whole register and trying to sell that. He would have made more money that way. He's going through this whole song and dance prying open the cash register, but he probably would have made more money just standing outside making balloon animals for people that came into the Little Caesars. He would have got more in tips than he did out of this register. It is $5 pizzas. I don't know what he was expecting. He hasn't exactly hit fucking Fort Knox here. It's Little Caesars. $5 pies. Like, I think he maybe got $20. Maybe. I absolutely love that response from the employees. No, I just work here. Like, I'm not gonna risk my life. I'm not gonna beat this man's ass and risk, getting myself in trouble for the sake of saving $60 for Little Caesars. I don't care that much. I'm not paid to be like a fucking Little Caesars gladiator and fight for Little Caesars honor. That's the right way of handling things. Just the employees like, hey, all right, you're robbing it? Okay, I'm not gonna stop you. I'll just call the police, which they do. And then they just sit here and record all of it for evidence. And this man just keeps flashing the camera with his whole goddamn face. They did the absolute perfect thing here in this situation.
Yo, that's all you gonna take?
Don't touch me. Don't touch nothing. Don't touch nothing. Don't touch nothing.
No fingerprints on. Yes.
This is where it gets so good. So this guy with all 3 brain cells and every neuron in that goddamn barren wasteland of a head starts firing, and he's like, oh my god, I left my fingerprints at the scene. I know what happens next. I've watched CSI Miami. So he goes back in and tries to wipe down the register, as if the fingerprints are the main concern here, even though he's flashed his whole face with no sunglasses to the camera like 8 times by now. And he's doing all of this in the slowest speed imaginable. He's entered cruise control. Like, there's so much evidence here, and the one thing he's concerned about is fingerprints. So he goes in and tries to clean the scene. Very thorough job too. But greed gets the best of him. He became gluttonous. So he goes in for more money, leaving more prints. Yeah, so he grabbed an extra like $3 there and then tried to wipe down those extra prints, but kept missing the areas that his greasy paws were touching, and then just skedaddles in the slowest getaway of all time, just barely walking. He would have been faster if he crawled away. Like, Jesus Christ. All in all, I can't imagine he got more than 20 bucks. The guy in the video said 60, but I don't believe that. There's no way he pulled $60 out of that fucking register. All in all, he spent like a minute and a half emptying a register, struggling the entire way, looking super stupid just to walk away with less money than the register costs for repairs, and risking jail time. If he had spent this long just collecting quarters from a wishing well, he would have made more money.
That's all you gonna take? No, bro, you don't work here, bro. Don't get into nothing, bro. They ain't
Don't touch nothing. Yo, the store is shut down. The store is shut down. Bro.
I've never seen a robbery where at the end of it, everyone's laughing at the robber. Like, what? How shameful. How truly awful. The most miserable and slowest robbery ever recorded here. It's like a PSA. You know those like over-the-top PSAs where it's like, you don't want to smoke a cigarette because you'll explode. And they just have like these crazy exaggerated cigarette smoking things. That's what happened here with this robbery. This is how, watch out kids, you don't want to rob. Look at how hard it is. And he's like fucking struggling with it for 2 minutes. Oh my god. There's no follow-up. I don't know if he got arrested. There probably won't be a follow-up since it's like a petty crime, but I'm sure he didn't get away for long. He was probably arrested in the parking lot because he probably just sat there. I don't even think he even bothered to like get away. But you can also see that the customer that had come in while the guy was still robbing them was really contemplating if it was worth beating this guy's ass. He could have easily snapped him in half, I think, and then he even like, you know, wandered out the door a bit to contemplate further, but the employees are like, bro, it's really not worth it. And it wasn't, you know, he didn't need to beat his ass. This was far more embarrassing than any ass beating could have been. So hopefully that customer also did get like some pizza or something, and they all just laughed about it. What a remarkably embarrassing robbery, and I just wanted to share this today because it put a smile on my face, so yeah, that's about it. So yeah. I recently watched a video from a channel called Penguinz0, which put together this beautiful piece on one of the most interesting criminals I've ever heard of. It just seems like something more out of a cartoon than reality, like the real world Dirty Dan here. I'll quickly hit you with a 30-second Shark Tank pitch to get you interested and tell you why you should care. Basically, an army veteran uses his skills to target McDonald's locations for robbery, and his specialty was busting in through the rooftop. So he would bring tools, cut through the roof, and drop in like an angel on the employees. And he had the manners of an angel too. He'd let them get their coats. They all said that he was really nice, and asked them to just wait in like the ice locker, the freezer. And he'd rob them and leave. And he did this for quite some time before being apprehended. Spoilers, he gets caught. But he doesn't spend too long in jail because he hatched a galaxy brain scheme to break out, which he executed flawlessly, becoming the first prisoner at that facility to ever break out successfully. And he turns back to a life of crime, but no longer going to the Ronald McDonald Playhouse of Pain. Instead, he transitions to living in a Toys R Us and gradually stealing their toys. So what he does is he lives at a Toys R Us by living behind a bike rack. He carves out his own little like hidden man cave in the walls. I won't spoil how it all ends or anything like that, but I just wanted to get like the cliff notes out here because I just find it so wild. I'll put a link to the original video in the description, of course, so you can watch the entire thing, but I'll show you some clips from when we watched it. Alright, let's start with, let's see Roof Man. This sounds kind of interesting. I do love criminals that hide in attics and shit.
Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime Zone. Unbeknownst
Quick question, is there still a massive breakfast rush for McDonald's? I remember when I was a kid that was the shit, but I feel like McDonald's has just such steep competition these days for the breakfast slot. Do we have any other, like, big McDonald's breakfast enthusiasts here? Because near me, it's kind of just like, no one cares anymore. Overwhelmingly, yes. Wow. I just think the McDonald's breakfast has really fallen off. It's like Netflix stock, but for food.
Once he had the cash, the masked robber walked all of the employees into the cooler where they were locked inside.
It seems kind of nice.
Before they were asked if they wanted to grab their coats to stay warm while they waited for help to arrive. After
they have a police sketch and it's just a Hamburglar.
Fled. While the employees didn't know it at the time.
I saw a video of 2 women stealing everyone's food inside a restaurant. Don't remember where, though. Probably McDonald's. Actually, I take that back. Probably Waffle House. Waffle House is a restaurant you go to and you're just looking for fights. And maybe, like, a waffle or two. I think it's a Prime Sun City. So this is basically the only fast food specialized robber is what I'm getting.
While little is known about why Jeffrey Allen Manchester chose to turn to a life of crime, what we do know
the better question is why turn to a life of crime for fast
robber
food?
Known as Roof Man, he lived what appeared to be a normal life, to put his military training to a different kind of use. In November of 1998...
Do you really need military training to rob a McDonald's? I feel like you could just go in and be like, I just want the money in the register, and like, make like a finger gun in your jacket and be like, yeah, just take it. Like, I don't think you really needed all like the special ops training just to become like a fucking Filet-O-Fish fondler. Felon. Damn, that would have been better instead of fucking fondler. It doesn't even make sense. But man, this guy, those McDonald's employees, they didn't know who they were fucking with when he busted through their ceiling. One second they're just serving up a quarter pounder, next second they got goddamn Jason Bourne coming through the top turnbuckle. That's
While
cute.
the bulk of Manchester's robberies were committed in California, he would eventually hit McDonald's locations in Nevada, Oregon, Minnesota, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, and both of the Carolinas, making off with an estimated $100,000. Manchester would use tools to cut a hole in the roof of the location, dropping down anywhere from 10 to 15 feet.
So what? I still am super confused on why the roof. What tactical advantage does he get from busting in right here behind the counter as opposed to just rushing through here and jumping over the counter? Just like the element of surprise? No alarm? I guess, but there's still employees there either way, right? Because like they said, he was always really nice to the employees and telling them to get to the back and shit, so there's still people there. So at that point, the alarm's kind of worthless, wouldn't you think?
When they caught up to him a short time later, he was still carrying his rifle, as well as a nylon bag containing drills, pry tools, hammers, and all of the cash he had stolen from the 2 McDonald's locations. True to his reputation, Manchester didn't put up a fight when cornered by officers, instead telling them, quote, "You guys did a really good job today." With Manchester's arrest came a flurry of news articles announcing he was ultimately sentenced to 45 years in prison on charges ranging from robbery with a dangerous weapon to kidnapping. Little did anyone know that his story was far from over.
Really? He busted a hole out of the prison cell?
Following his conviction at the end of 2000, Jeffrey Manchester was sent on the afternoon of June 15th, 2004.
Now the roof
Jeffrey
man can be
Manchester
anywhere.
put his plan into action and escaped from the Brown Creek Correctional Institution, making him the first person to do so in the facility's 11-year history.
Hey, that's pretty
Once
good.
again,
well, 11
the
years
roof
isn't
man
super long.
was
That's still
free.
good.
It was here, at an unassuming retail plaza, that he would set up a living space that would baffle and amuse both the public and law enforcement
oh my god, he opened his own
for years to
McDonald's.
come.
A
For his
franchise
new
owner.
home, the roof man chose a Toys R Us store located in a complex called the Triangle Shopping Center, just off of Monroe Road. He raced remote control cars on the roof in the middle of the night, rode bikes around the store for exercise, and managed to get most of the nourishment that he needed by stealing and eating baby food.
Toys R Us had all kinds of snacks. He didn't need baby food. I remember back in the heyday at Toys R Us, you could get like fucking pounds of Doritos and shit. My man's over there just eating like meat sticks and apple mush when he could have been feasting on Doritos and Oreos. This man just said, fuck it, I want the Gerbers. Thanks for some Dreadnought in the prime elbow. This actually seems like something out of Codename Kids Next Door. Like one of the villains infiltrates a toy store that the kids are shopping at in order to torment them and scare them at night. Man's actually the boogeyman at the Jeffrey's Play Palace here. I have looked literally everywhere in the world for a single picture of this man's laboratory here. You know, Dexter's lab kind of shit. Because the way it's described in the video and the way it's described by the authorities, it sounds fucking incredible. He had baby monitor surveillance spy systems set up across the store to keep eyes on everyone, all the workers and all the customers and everything. He had so many toys and shit and a really elaborate setup with running water all in his like secret man cave in the Toys R Us walls. I want so badly to know what that actually looked like. I can't imagine a world where they didn't take pictures of it. They'd have to, right? Like, it's evidence. So surely those pictures exist somewhere, and I am begging any authorities that were involved in this case to just release the photo evidence. Let us see it. Let us just take a gander. I have to know what his little secret lair looked like here in this Toys R Us, because it must have been so fucking cool. Or maybe it's overhyped, and it was actually just like a really small, like, coffin of a couple of toys that he'd stay at. Who knows? But it just sounds so impressive, and I would love to know what it looks like. But unfortunately, I can't find a single picture of it anywhere. I can't even find, like, a single, like, artistic interpretation of it from anyone from the scene. Nothing. But I know those pictures have to have existed. So I hope someday they surface.
And when the holiday season rolled around, no one donated more to the congregation's toy drive than he did. Of course, these toys were actually all stolen from the store where the roof man was hiding
who's
out.
gonna miss the toys though, huh?
It was during this time that he realized he could tunnel directly through the store's wall into the adjacent unit, which just so happened to be an abandoned Circuit City. This time,
maybe this guy is responsible for Toys R Us and Circuit City going under. After they found out that this man was living in their walls for, it's been almost a year, I think now. They just got so fucking paranoid that the business started sinking. God damn. What a cool setup, though. That is like the most early 2000s shit imaginable. Like, that is your early 2000s shopping starting kit. Toys R Us, Circuit City, and Radio Shack. The only thing he's missing is a Blockbuster. Then he tunnels underground and goes right to Blockbuster or some shit.
He also added more baby monitors to add to his makeshift surveillance system,
Holy
and even
shit.
installed a smoke detector and piped in water from the Toys R Us next door.
Wait, how would nobody ever hear that? He piped in his own water line? How would he be able to successfully do that? It's not like, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do that, I guess, if you tee off of an already existing line, but still, I feel like you'd absolutely hear that, because you have to, like, drill into the walls and shit, and you have to tee off that pipe. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess just doing it, like, in the dead of night, without anyone being around, you'd probably never notice.
In order to continue to travel between the Toys R Us and the Circuit City as he pleased, Manchester left the tunnel between the two units intact.
I bet so many kids saw him behind the bike
trapdoors
rack
he
and
had
just got
created
scared and
in
didn't
with
say
the
anything.
walls on both sides. On December 26th, he decided it was time to pull off the big robbery that he had been planning. Unfortunately for the roof man, when he tried to pull off the crime, things did not go according to plan. Similar to the
Slipped on a
2000
banana
robbery
peel.
in Belmont, when he held up the Toys R Us, employees were able to contact police sooner than he anticipated. Manchester responded by punching her, stealing her gun, and running away.
That's aggressive.
Amazingly,
He used to be
though
so
the
nice.
roof man seemed cornered,
Circuit
he
City
managed to
changed
escape
him.
through his trapdoors undetected. It's unclear whether or not he returned to the hideout within the Circuit City, identified him as the man who had been going by the name John Zorin, and were shocked to discover who he really was. In a bid to cover his tracks, Manchester burned down a dentist office where he had gotten his teeth fixed while on the run.
How does that...
Presumably worried that police would be able to find his dental records there.
Okay.
This had the opposite effect of what he
Man,
intended,
prison really changed
and only
him.
made investigators more suspicious. Manchester showed up, believing he would be able to see his girlfriend one last time before continuing his life on the run. He arrived with flowers, but was arrested by waiting officers before he could make it inside the apartment. Manchester is currently incarcerated
escape
at
again.
the Central Prison
The
in
roof
Raleigh,
man's not done.
where his projected release date is December 4th, 2036. Do you know of any other cases like this that you think we should
what a
check out?
cool story.
Tell us about them in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.
That prison is 5 minutes from my house. Bro, you might want to move just in case the roof man gets out. He'll start living in your walls. Sleep in fear, man. Sleep in fear. I don't know if it's movies or Grand Theft Auto 5 that's rotted my brain, but when I think of bank robberies, I always picture some absolutely massive event that's thoroughly planned and it's a huge deal. Like when I hear, oh, a bank got robbed, I'm expecting the follow-up sentence to be, and then Spider-Man stopped the robbers. I've just always imagined bank robberies like it's straight out of a cartoon, you know, high-tech security, damn near impossible to pull off successfully. You know, you see like an Ocean's 11 movie, you're like, wow, no one's ever going to be able to actually rob a bank like this, huh? They've just always made it sound so fucking wild, saying things like, alright, we're going to need a 20-person team in order to pull this one off successfully, boys. The target is a 15-inch thick steel titanium concrete vault door that's protected by a retina scanner and biological deposit box for fingernail clippings, and it'll only accept it from the head honcho of the bank. You also have to sing the fast part to Eminem's Rap God, and if you fuck up a single lyric, the alarm sounds and the FBI is swarming within 30 seconds. It's also protected by a moat with 45 crocodiles inside and 24/7 security, and they're all ex-Navy SEALs. We're gonna have to be in and out within 5 seconds. The job is simple. You know, like, in my tiny reptile brain hears all this, and I'm like, wow. Well, no one's ever going to be able to actually rob a bank, huh? For some reason, I've just been under the assumption that banks in the real world have similar security protocol. Obviously, not with like all the sci-fi security protocols like infrared laser beams everywhere that you have to dodge. I've just been under the assumption that they're highly protected and robbing them is still extremely difficult. But in reality, that's just not the case. Bank robberies happen all the time, and they are nothing like they are in the movies. I want to show you a recent bank robbery that happened in Orlando. This is about a week old. You have to see this to believe it. Yeah, that's right. Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. The alleged bank robber is Mr. Incredible himself. This dude threw on the Incredibles t-shirt, popped on the shades, and said, "It's showtime." And this was a successful robbery, by the way. I'll explain his method in just a moment, but here's the security camera footage showcasing the culprit. And he got away with it for now. He wasn't caught. He's still at large. So if you do recognize that man, make sure to call that Crime Stoppers hotline. Now, you're probably scratching your head wondering to yourself, where was the robbery? Charles, you forgot to show the climax. You didn't show where he actually robbed them. But you're wrong. You just witnessed the robbery. That was the entire operation. The extent of his plan was to go into the bank and ask for the money. So he demanded money from the teller and they gave it to him and he walked out. That's how that bank robbery went. He didn't flash any weapons. I haven't read any reports about him making threatening remarks or anything like that. They just explained that he demanded money from the teller, which he received, and then fled the scene. Now, the use of the word demanding in the reports leaves a lot of wiggle room for what could have been said or done from the guy to get the money. You know, maybe he went in there and was threatening the employees or seemed to just be like this menace. Maybe he treated it like a Call of Duty Xbox Live lobby and got real loud, vocal, screaming, this and that. And I have always said it's never worth risking your life for the business you work at, you know? If someone comes in there and they're saying, you know, empty the register, you're gonna get it, bub, it's best just to comply. What's the point in risking life and limb for the business you work at? It's simply not worth it. Plus, insurance covers all of it for the business anyway. So it's just, you really shouldn't be, like, willing to die for your job, I would say. So I have no ill will towards the teller here who did give this guy the money. I just find it super interesting that this is the technique that was used for a successful bank robbery, just going up and asking for the money. It doesn't seem like he did anything beyond that. His plan was as simple as it gets. Can I have some more of that cash? In fact, I'm not asking. Give me more of that cash. And they did. So I decided to look into it a bit. and it turns out all bank tellers are instructed to always follow the thief's instructions no matter the case, whether a weapon is produced or not. If there is a thief there demanding money, it is the bank teller's responsibility to follow it. They're instructed to follow along no matter what because their safety is of paramount importance. So that caught me by surprise because I wasn't sure. I knew bank tellers always had to go along with like someone who shows a weapon or something. Like they're not going to try and make a holdout and challenge them to a fist fight in order to disarm them or anything. I just thought like they had to produce like a weapon or some kind of threat or like reasonable showcase that they're going to cause a problem. I didn't realize that if they even just hinted at wanting to rob them, that they had to follow along. So that was a little surprising to me, but it makes complete sense, and I completely agree with that ruling as well. However, I still think this guy's planning is lackluster, to say the least. He didn't even make an attempt to conceal his face. The closest thing he has to a disguise is just some sunglasses he picked up at the gas station, probably on the way to the bank. Now, I don't want to undersell the importance of his wardrobe pick for the day. I think the Incredibles shirt really sealed the deal. There's a good chance this crashes and burns if he's wearing just like a normal Abercrombie & Fitch shirt or something, but he threw on the Incredibles shirt. That right there adds like a +10 to intimidation. They didn't know who they were fucking with, and they weren't taking any chances. So he got away with it for now. He's managed to elude authorities, as I understand it. So overall, just like a really goofy, wild story that I happened to stumble across today and just wanted to share with all of you. This is not at all how I imagined bank robberies going in the real world. I very rarely have ever read about any in the real world, aside from like the big ones where there's getaway cars, like massive police chases, shootouts. I haven't heard of any like this, so I just found it to be pretty interesting. That's about it. So yeah. Last night, some deviously clever thieves hatched a genius idea on how to steal an ATM machine using a forklift. This isn't the first of its kind, and it certainly won't be the last. In fact, it's a pretty popular genre of content online, with surveillance cameras capturing goofy ATM heists, and it's always a whole team of clowns that show up to the party, and somehow none of them had any neuron activation to plan beforehand because it almost never goes right. It seems like ATM robberies are done exclusively by people that can't tie their own shoes, but then also somehow have access to the wackiest vehicles ever. Like, last night it was a forklift. There was one a couple years ago where they came up with a fucking excavator, actual heavy machinery, an excavator they used to carve the ATM out of a building, pick it up in its bucket and dump into a goddamn van. Like, I don't even know where they're getting it from. It's like they're playing GTA Online in real life. But yeah, it's always just so interesting. So I want to show you a few of them. We'll start with last night's forklift heist. This happened in Sacramento, and it's like something out of a SpongeBob episode with every villain is Lemons here. So there's only a couple of chess pieces on the board here. We have the white pickup truck on the top and the forklift on the left. Now pay close attention to that forklift operator, because he may be out here committing a crime, but he said, "God damn it, I'm not violating OSHA regulations." Robbery is one thing, but violating OSHA regulations, that's an unforgivable sin, and I will have no part in that, thank you very much. So that gentleman's in the proper forklift attire, complete with even the hard hat, and then he just fires this bitch into turbo drive. He engaged the NOS boosters and just gave a big wallop to the ATM, knocking it off of the pedestal there. And then he begins the second part of this incredible scheme that they've hatched. The truck driver throws that ass in reverse to get in the proper position to receive the ATM, and then the forklift driver comes over here and just skewers it. He starts pumping it a little bit, hoping to get the tongs on the actual ATM unit itself and not just the outer casing. It's like an egg, and then the orange stuff is the shell, and what he wants to get to is the yolk in the middle. So, with the delicate hands of a surgeon, he gets underneath it and cradles it like a baby. So, mission accomplished so far. He's got the ATM on the forklift, and now it's just the last little piece of the puzzle, and he blows it. Yeah, he blows it. A bit of a fumble there, miscalculation, could have happened to anyone. And as you can see, it's happening to the best of us. Now all of a sudden there's a spectator in the stands. Another car swoops in here, a variable they couldn't have accounted for, and this had to be the most shocking moment of that driver's life. What started as just a normal trip to the ATM ended up with him getting caught in an idiot's sandwich, so he says, "You know what, I'm not hungry, I'm going home." And just when you thought this game was over, sports fans, wait until the fourth quarter, because look at this comeback. A perfect exchange from forklift to truck bed. Dominic Toretto puts pedal to the metal and drives off. No need to fasten or secure the ATM in the truck bed. It's not going to fall off. They're operating off hopes and dreams, and when has that ever not been enough? According to news reports, the ATM fell off a few miles up the road and ended up causing a car accident, so I can only pray that whoever was involved in that accident is okay. Just, who could have seen that coming?
Into the bed of the truck, only for it to fall off in the middle of the street, causing a traffic accident.
No one could have accurately predicted that that would happen, just truly a freak accident somehow, that ATM falling off the truck. But I don't want to just talk about just this one ATM heist, because there's so many that are just as wacky and goofy, so I want to show you a few of them. But before doing that, I want to show you something that is far more valuable than an ATM machine. It's Godslap. Issue 4 of Godslap, to be precise. It just dropped today. Issue 4 of Godslap is here. This is the standard cover, as well as always, 2 beautiful variant covers. And the story is really, really getting good, so you don't want to miss it. Godslap issue 4 is available right now at badegg.co. And if you don't want a physical copy of Godslap, there is a digital download as well. So definitely make sure to check that out. It's our comic series we've been working on for a few years now, and we're really starting to get in our stride. We're entering the golden age of Godslap, baby. I know I've already shown this clip before, but since I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, I figured there's no time like the present to once again put it in the top of everyone's mind. This is the infamous excavator ATM heist here. So this is a stolen excavator, and they really gave it a workout. You can see him going fishing here for the ATM, just really digging in there like someone trying to get the last bit of toothpaste out of the tube. Finally gets the ATM in the bucket, and here's his good friends here, the foot ninjas from the Ninja Turtles. That man up front is striking a power stance like actual NPC energy, and then he gets it and just puts it in the open sunroof of the van. And let me tell ya, perfect calculations because it fits like a glove. Look at that. Putting the square into the square hole just the way we used to do it when we were kids. Jackpot. Now, it may not have, fit as perfectly as they maybe drew it up in the playbook, which is why they give it a couple of little slaps to try and get it down a bit deeper, but at the end of the day, it was good enough, so they were satisfied with the job well done and drove away.
The footage is shocking. A pickup truck smashes into a grocery store, but this driver isn't done. He goes on the other side and zooms straight through.
When I first saw that clip, I actually laughed out loud very hard, which isn't normal for me from a YouTube video. I just couldn't even wrap my head around the thought process of the driver. Like, he accomplished the goal on the first try here. He got a strike down the bowling alley. He backed his truck up into the store through the doors the first time. So why did he pull out and do it again just for a bigger fucking explosion? Like, on the other side, it accomplished nothing. He had already done what he set out to do with getting his truck inside. I don't exactly know why he did that. That was absolutely a fuck you. This became personal. It went from an ATM robbery to a statement real quick.
Why is this happening? Because crooks are after the ATM machine. They load it in the truck and they're off.
Now, this one doesn't use any fancy schmancy machinery here like a forklift or an excavator. Just good old-fashioned spit and elbow grease. Just 2 dudes being men, picking up an ATM and putting it in their truck and driving away. No need for elaborate planning, no need for even a single thought to enter your brain for this one. Just, I want ATM. I drive truck through and pick up ATM. Okay. Actual caveman brain idea.
With the use of brute force, brazen ATM thefts are happening all over the country.
This whole video from Inside Edition is mainly a montage of wacky ATM thefts, and you can see that they brought out a timeless classic strategy here with, once again, the forklift, but this one's got a little pizzazz to it. They're hitting us with a razzle-dazzle. So they're doing like a little balancing act where they're just like, they got a fingernail on the ATM machine with the forklift tongue, and he's just like kind of balancing it on the way out and like holding it back and driving away slowly. It's like something out of the circus. It's actually very impressive. There's real talent behind the wheel of that forklift. This isn't something that anybody could just get up and do. There is a real passion for their work here. And dare I say it, they even seem a bit considerate. They said, you know what, I want the money from the ATM, but I don't want to cause too much damage in the process. So I'm just gonna real tenderly pick it up, balance it, and just get away with it. I don't want to hit any walls or anything. He didn't come in here and just start fucking slapping it around like the last guy in the forklift video we saw from last night. This guy came in here with a real delicate touch. Or at least that's what the video showed. Maybe right after this brief clip, the guy just goes ballistic and starts just like speeding the forklift into everything he can find, maybe.
In Chicago, a crook wraps a rope around the ATM and gives the signal. A truck then hauls the machine through the front door, even injuring his partner.
That one's probably my favorite. Just a beautiful blunder, really. Wraps the cord around the forklift, and then he's like, all right, punch it. And then he just gets absolutely blasted by the ATM. He didn't stop to think for just 1 second how the world works with physics and shit, that by standing at the doorway where the rope was leading out, that the ATM would follow that trail. So he just stands right in between a bullet and a target here and takes a hit to the leg from the ATM. It just comes through like a cannonball and annihilates him. His knee got busted up in a big way. It reminds me of a tweet I read like a month ago where a guy took a bad step at a baseball game and he like blew out both of his knees. The tweet said, this man just blew his ACL, MCL, DVD, and NBC. And that's how I feel about this clip right here. That ATM absolutely fucked his knee, I think. Now, I don't think it broke his leg because it seems like he was able to like kind of limp away, but that's no doubt just all of the adrenaline that kicked in to, you know, not get caught here. But yeah, I think that clip is by far the best one so far from these ATM heists. So yeah, I just wanted to share a few of these with you since the forklift one just happened last night, and that's really about it. So yeah. Well, yes, I actually did just finish playing pickup basketball on this sacred Thursday night. Thank you for asking. How did I play? Well, terribly, actually. I played horribly. I almost immediately pulled my shoulder, which at my age is very painful. And then my old man brittle bones started creaking a lot and a fly flew in my mouth. But that didn't stop me from putting on an absolute shooting nightmare. I went like 4 for 12 and 0 for 2 from the 3. It was bad. And also, the fly in my mouth paranoid me because I'm a hypochondriac. I couldn't stop imagining Ozzy and Drix inside of my body fighting against this fly in there. It wasn't my best showing. But can you stop talking about basketball so much, please? That's not what we're here for. Goodness gracious, you're a real chatty Cathy. What the fuck? What we're here to discuss is a really weird criminal I learned about on stream last night. And I've been thinking about him ever since. There's a case going around about a criminal in Essex who has done nothing but steal pacifiers from literal babies. Wait, what? Man, 23, charged with snatching dummies from babies in Essex. Dummies? You guys call pacifiers dummies? It just sounds like you're insulting your kid. Why not just call him a pacifier? A man will appear in court charged with snatching dummies out of the mouths of babies. What a cartoonishly evil plan. Does he at least sell them or something? Like, what's the motivation besides just making a baby cry? Josh Gilder was arrested on Monday on suspicion of theft from a person, robbery, and using threatening behavior to cause alarm and distress. This happened on 4 occasions, apparently. The serial pacifier robber, burglar. What does he do with them? Does he just take them out and run away, or does he take them out and put them back? Like, what does he do? Oh, here we go. We got some more information. All right. The story just took a really interesting twist. So according to this, well, according to her, he uses the dummy to soothe himself. So what he's doing, and this is a revolting thought, he is taking the pacifiers out of babies' mouths and then sucking on them himself. That is fucking gross. Holy shit. He said he would take the dummy and then go sit in a tent and use the dummy, describing the thefts as purely acquisition. Goulder also admitted causing harassment, alarm, and distress to a police officer the day he was arrested. He told the officer, if my stuff gets broken, I swear I'll kill you. He denied 3 charges of assault relating to 3 of the 5 children who he took dummies from. Still shouldn't be stealing them from babies. Bit of a hot take there from me, but, you know, I'll say it with my chest. Stealing from a baby is... well, that's pretty low. You know, I'm just gonna say, he's a jerk. He's a bit of a jerk. When police were initially looking for this guy, they released this photo hoping that someone recognized him, when it's just a photo of someone's back with a hoodie on. But I mean, I guess it worked out in the end because they did apprehend him. He was taking candy from literal babies, pretty much, and they eventually did arrest him for it. But I really like the idea that someone sees this and they're like, oh my god, that hoodie. Wait a minute, that frame. I know exactly who that is. That's my buddy Josh. And who knows, maybe that's exactly how it happened. But yeah, they did apprehend him, and the whole story is very baffling. That's a odd crime, for sure. But I want to give you a little bonus crime that I learned about on stream last night. Actually, you know what? I'll give you two, because we went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with weird crimes. So this next one is about a serial mannequin pisser who's still on the loose, so beware of any mannequins. They might be marked with urine somewhere out there. So just sleep with one eye open. I work at Target, and one day we found that somebody had peed on a mannequin. Turns out he'd been hitting other Targets in Minnesota and peeing on mannequins. The guy has not yet been caught. Don't worry, I'm on the case. I just looked up urinating on mannequins, and the first thing that came up was a Wikipedia page called Mannequin Piss. Is this him? Does he have his own Wikipedia page? And here's a urinating mannequin, which is an art piece. I think I found the culprit for your phantom pisser that keeps coming in and urinating on the mannequins. I think it's this guy. Got him. And this next criminal is not some unknown menace. This is actually a very well-known criminal. Burger King. And the crime, horrible food. But this time around, what they were guilty of is a promotional marketing campaign that led to the death of a few children, infants, during their Pokemon promotion of 1999. I don't know how many of you knew this, but I was completely unaware that this ever happened, so I learned about it on stream last night, and I thought this was a really weird thing that happened back then that I haven't really heard too many people talk about. Have you heard about the Pokemon ball toy that killed a bunch of kids? What? Reflecting on the Burger King Pokemon disaster of 1999. What? I've never heard of this. Some of the most iconic toys of the 90s showed up on greasy trays across the country, but perhaps the biggest frenzy arrived with a series of Pokemon collectibles from Burger King at the turn of the millennium. Pokémania hit a fever pitch in 1999, and the frenzy had a body count. Time magazine helped introduce the Japanese imported phenomenon known as Pokemon to the mainstream. Okay. At the very center of their page, a space normally occupied by heads of state, religious leaders, and business magnates, Poliwhirl leaped out at the reader. I actually vaguely remember this cover. While parents, journalists, and psychologists were mulling the attitudinal impacts of the fad, a far more banal Poke danger was emerging. On December 11th, 1999, 13-month-old Kira suffocated to death in Northern California. A Pokemon toy from a Burger King kids meal was believed to be the cause. The company had begun a massive Pokemon promotion in connection with the Pokemon the First movie, which debuted on November 10th. The 56-day promotion, one of the largest in history, was intended to run from early November to end of December. The kids' meal prize during that 2-month period was one of 57 different Pokemon toys. Making the promotion all the more exciting was the fact that the toys were encapsulated within the immediately familiar red and white orb of a Pokeball. Burger King had plans to distribute over 25 million toys in this clever format for free with any kids' meal purchased.
Enjoy.
She's even in body armor. They knew this was dangerous. That's a huge promo. Did they have all 151? How? Damn, Burger King used to go hard. As far as Kira's death was concerned, the toy itself, as it turned out, wasn't the problem. She died after one half of the plastic Pokeball, measuring just under 3 inches in diameter, became attached to her face. She had somehow gotten it stuck over her nose and mouth, forming an airtight seal. Holy shit. Her mother took a shower for about 20 minutes, and when she emerged, her daughter was dead. Spokesperson for Equity Marketing, the toy maker that had partnered with Burger King, would later state that the toy meets or exceeds all federal safety guidelines. And Charles Nicholas, a spokesperson for Burger King, argued it was not concluded that the ball was the cause. I mean, it seems like a completely freak incident, but I mean, the ball was literally the cause. But it's not the design's fault, I don't think, right? Like that's truly a freak thing. From the sound of it. 10 days later, on December 23rd, it happened again. An 18-month-old girl in Kansas almost suffocated. By the time her father pried the half of a Pokeball from her face, the girl's lips had turned blue. When we found out about the first death, there was a realization that this could be a huge national concern. This was the worst case scenario. A major fast food chain, not just a toy store, distributing these toys by the millions. How is it happening though? It doesn't look like that'd be a really easy situation to find yourself in. And also, who's letting 13-month-old and 18-month-old babies eat Burger King alone? Also, what do they eat from Burger King? Aren't you still basically on mush? Maybe not at 18 months, but 13 months? When do you stop having, like, mush? When's the cutoff period? Why is every major fast food controversy about Burger King? Because Burger King it's actually a scourge. Burger King needs to just be shut down. They make the worst fucking food imaginable. Burger King have come around now, but we did have to push them. Oh, they have a recall commercial. It was such a different time back then. They had to make another advertisement in order to advertise the recall. Nowadays, they'll just make a tweet, be like, hey, we're sorry we killed some kids. Like, what more is there to say? We're sorry. Like every game dev that comes out right now when they release a pile of shit. January 25th, 2000, a month after the recall began, 4-month-old Zachary Jones was found dead in his crib in Indianapolis, Indiana. He too had been suffocated by a Pokeball. It's hard to believe that you go to get the kids something to eat, you bring home a lethal toy. How is a 4-month-old eating Burger King? And unmonitored by their parents? Now, of course, there clearly is something wrong with the design here, I think. Maybe the pictures aren't doing it justice for what the Pokeball actually looks like. But what the fuck? This is a 4-month-old with Burger King? And no supervision? Holy shit, that's a recipe for disaster even if it wasn't Burger King lethal Pokeballs. Are they just clipping it around their nose like a pin? So from the way it describes it, it seems like what was happening is the baby would be playing with the Pokeball and the half would get caught on its face like a fighter pilot, basically, with their mask. And it created an airtight seal that suffocated them. Have you seen this bird bandit? Please search for man with parrots in McDonald's robbery. This actually looks like some kind of marketing campaign for McDonald's back when they had the Hamburglar. Is this real? Is this not a marketing stunt?
Searching for this man they have dubbed the Bird Bandit.
He actually looks like a One Piece character. Like, this character design is exquisite. And that's a real parrot?
Check him out with his friends there on his shoulder. Investigators are accusing the man of robbing someone with a knife.
Yep, police say the
well,
same
that's
man
not
was
very
later
nice.
spotted in another store
What a jerk.
carrying the 3 birds that you see right there. News
Wait, 3 birds? I wish you would stop graying it out when I pause it. Hold on, let me find the picture of him. It's a little blurry to tell. He got 3 birds on him? It's like that guy from John Wick. Man, and that is a mean goatee. It's coming to like a dagger's point. Also, I like this right here. Anyone with any information is asked to contact police. I think if you've ever seen this guy in your life, you probably remember him. This is like the lowest level attempt at concealing your identity ever. He's wearing the most identifiable shirt and then 3 fucking live birds on him while wearing... what kind of hat is that? It's like some kind of old swashbuckler's hat.
Accused of robbing a McDonald's on Arlington Boulevard in the Seven Corners area Tuesday around 8 a.m. Police say he pulled a knife and demanded money at the counter. Police
he's even got a pair of sunglasses on. Never mind, he actually did try with the disguise. I've got to say, I'm a little disappointed in the pants. He's got a great shirt, but lame-ass pants and flip-flops. His stylist just gave up halfway through the fit.
With 2 live parrots. They appear to be macaws.
Wait, they said 3 though.
To his cowboy
Is this not
hat
one?
and a 3rd on his shoulder. Reaction from McDonald's customers who say they feel bad for the feathered participants.
Honestly, that's really crazy. Like, why would you bring a pet? Don't crime with the birds.
True.
The suspect
I agree with her.
20s or early 30s.
Well, let's not. Okay. Also, let's not let's not get rid of the theory that the birds aren't the ones controlling him, pulling the strings. Like he could be a victim in this as well.
Something like that before.
They can talk.
God, it'd be so
It's
cool if the
unclear
birds were
that
threatening
will
the
play
cashier.
Any type of role in the solving
I
of
wouldn't
this
even be
crime.
mad if I was
In
the
Fairfax
cashier.
County, Jackie Benson, News 4.
Imagine the birds roll up and they just start like saying some vile shit. Did you hear about the guy that got arrested in Nebraska because he got with a bull in his car? Yeah, it's this video, right? He got arrested? Even my mom sent me this video. She thought it was the coolest thing ever. I didn't know he got arrested, though. I only saw like a little clip of it.
Around 10 a.m., the Norfolk Police Division responded to
What's he arrested for? Having a good time? Being a good Uber?
On 275 with a Watusi bull in his passenger seat.
The officers received a call.
I think that's fine. Oh wow, the cow shit all over this.
They thought that it was going to be. They thought that it was
Wow.
a cow in.
I can't say I ever saw the back of the car. This thing's got a lot of features. The license plate is boy and dog, a custom license plate for that, and then a decal that says lice, and it's covered in bullshit. Wow. I mean, I have no doubt the bull was scared, but goodness. Huh. I really want to know what this says. Looks like it says concussion beef. What an interesting guy. Yeah, I only saw like a small clip of this. I thought it was just like a cool way of transporting this cow. I thought he was like a VIP or something.
They thought that it was going to be, like a calf, something smaller, something that actually fit.
What is that it said on the side? Best car?
Calf, something smaller.
Best car citizen,
Or something
I think.
that actually fit inside the vehicle.
And the vehicle was big enough. Well, technically.
As a result, the officer performed a traffic stop and addressed
He looks like a nice
some
enough
traffic
guy.
violations that were occurring with that particular
Oh, best car entry.
situation. Animal back home and to leave the city.
Meyer and Howdy Doody are on their
Literally
way back
told him to
home,
get out
and
of
no one
town.
was hurt. From Norfolk News Channel, Nebraska, Andrew Pfeiffer.
I mean, that seems like a cool battle vehicle as well. Like, should Mad Max ever happen, I think training this bull to get ready to impale other riders and shit is probably a good call. He seems like a cool guy. What was his name? Lee Meyer. Watched the video about how Kim Jong-un used YouTube prank videos as a way to kill his brother. Kill him with what? Cringe? What? There's no way that's real. I knew his brother died. I didn't know it was a fucking YouTube prank. The prank show that led to an assassination. How North Korea assassinated Kim Jong-un's brother. Let me see. There's no way this was from a prank. In 2017, 2 unsuspecting women carried out a political assassination of Kim Jong-nam, the elder half-brother of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, thinking they were participating in a prank TV show. Holy shit, wait, what? In 2016-2017, 2 young women were separately approached by men to perform a series of prank videos for YouTube. One was from Indonesia, the other Vietnam. They were paid a small amount of money to run up to strangers and smear lotion on their faces, then apologize and run away. Wait, where's the assassination? Kim Jong-nam was in Kuala Lumpur airport when 2 women smeared his face with a powerful VX nerve agent. The CCTV footage of the incident shows him at the airport's information desk seeking medical help. He claims he felt dizzy after 2 women grabbed his face. He died within 20 minutes of the incident. She revealed she was recruited by a man named James, claiming to be a TV producer. For months, the 2 women were groomed to smear random people with lotion and creams. All this while they thought they were participating in a prank show with hidden cameras. Whoa! Wow. I had no idea. I thought this was just like a straight-up assassination. I didn't know there was a deeper layer where the people that killed him didn't know they killed him. Hundreds of goats roam Bay Area neighborhood after escaping enclosed... Oh my god. These hooligans. We've got security camera footage. The squad's rolling deep. Lock your doors. Don't come out. Oh man, they just robbed this place. This is what I must imagine. This is what I imagine it must have looked like when Noah was trying to get like animals onto the ark. Man, that just doesn't stop. Who had all of these goats? Where are they escaping from? Pepperidge Farms? God damn. They're still going. Holy shit. Hey, welcome to freedom. Enjoy the American dream, my friends. Godspeed. Damn, still going, huh? A herder and their dog came to the rescue and corralled the animals back into their pen. No shot. There's like 1,000 goats here. How the fuck would he have gathered all of them? There's no way he got all of the goats back. They follow each other? Yeah, but even still, there's no way he'd get all of the goats back. Like, some of these goats came from, like, all over the place. Like, in driveways and probably going into backyards. No way. There's definitely still some rogue goats on the loose out there. A very good herder dog, that's how. I mean, fucking Airbud couldn't get all of these goats back. There's too many. I mean, I've never herded goats, but I mean, I've done the next best thing. I've done the tedious side quests, or the tedious quests in RuneScape where you have to herd some shit. It's a pain in the ass. Yes, I know the quality of the webcam is less than stellar. It looks like the footage from The Dark Knight when the Joker is like selfieing himself as he's torturing a guy. I know it doesn't look great. It's highly pixelated, looking like PlayStation 1 graphics, Charles here, but it is what it is. It's the only webcam that I have, and I really want to talk about something since I can't sleep, which has become all too common. It's extremely late right now. It's 3 a.m. I gotta get up at 7 a.m. and I didn't sleep last night and I'm not sleeping tonight. Insomnia is absolutely beating my cheeks in and it's making me mad. But the only thing that makes me more upset than not being able to sleep is porch pirates. And that's what we're here to talk about. Since I was tossing and turning, having nothing but the most inopportune moments for deep existential thoughts, which kept me awake, I decided I'd go on the cyberspace to see if there's any kind of lullabies that could put me to sleep. You know, maybe Jigglypuff could sing me a song or something. But instead, all I found were two very peculiar cases of porch pirates stealing some packages that I just think are really interesting, so let's talk about them. You know that trope that exists in anime and other fiction where the villain is super smart with like the most creative and most galaxy brain scheme imaginable? Yeah, it doesn't usually happen in the real world. It's usually just a bunch of fucking brain-dead morons that have the dumbest ideas and then commit a crime. But not in this case. We finally have a rare unicorn here with a turbo genius criminal. So, they wanted to steal a package, but they didn't want their identity to be compromised because most people have Ring doorbells or something similar in this day and age. So, how do you get around this? They don't have the mask technology that Mission Impossible does or anything, so they had to get creative. It seems like they found a nearby traffic cone and hid inside of it, which does a great job of concealing not only their face, but their whole body. This could be a full-grown man, full-grown woman, or a child. There's no telling. The only clues we have to go on are the barefoot pitter-patter from the door to the driveway. That's it. That's not a whole lot of clues. You'd have to get the forensics team out there and start like swabbing the concrete to see if you can get some kind of like DNA off it, maybe? I have no idea. So they might actually get away with this one. I do have a working theory though. I think the culprit here is someone that is familiar with the family. I think it's a family friend, or maybe even a nearby neighbor. They knew they could be easily identified by the homeowner, which is why they took such extreme measures here. That, or it's staged. This could just be faked. This could be just a prank, like a staged video for the sake of it going viral, which it absolutely did. But I like to pretend and suspend disbelief here. I like to think that this was a real instance of a porch pirate coming up with a really creative solution. But anyway, there's no further updates that I can find on this story, so this menace is still at large. Sleep in fear. Or in my case, don't sleep at all, because insomnia is a real bitch. But also, if there's any traffic cones nearby, you might want to hide them somewhere so that way they can't be utilized like this and steal your packages. Now, while this one could be faked, the next one is not, because they've been caught. Though they did have an equally creative idea on how to get away with stealing packages. I'm kidding, it's actually a really fucking stupid idea. I'll just go ahead and show you the news segment on it.
Dash driver arrested. Police say she was caught on camera instead of taking. Take a look here. Police say Juliana Sagaram stole a package, as you see right there, from a Manhasset home last month. Video shows a woman walking up to the doorstep on Highland Terrace holding a brown paper bag there, and police telling us it was a Chipotle order she was supposed to deliver nearby. Neighbors say this is unbelievable.
So Juliana's plan was simple and also not super effective because she didn't get away with it. There were a lot of holes in this scheme. It wasn't exactly a bulletproof plan. While doing food delivery, she decided to take this package here, and I guess her whole idea was if she's in the middle of a food delivery, no one would think twice about her going up to the front of a house, and then she could make a getaway with the package without anyone stopping her. So it seems the whole idea was to avoid suspicion by having a good cover story. No, I'm not here to steal packages. I'm here to deliver food. You're out of order. You lost your marbles. But she failed to account for modern technology, where most people have like Ring doorbells now or anything that records video outside their home, because of the rising problem of porch pirates. So it didn't do anything to prevent the authorities from seeing who she was. And I guess, really, she just wanted to make sure no one would, like, interfere with her plan. But I don't know how common that is. Like, I don't feel like there's a ton of people that recognize when a porch pirate is striking, because they usually run up, grab it, and run away. There's not a whole lot of time for someone to fucking swoop in and stop them, unless, of course, she's doing this in Gotham City and Batman happened to be nearby in the neighborhood. Like, I just don't think that is really commonplace. So overall, Buddy with the traffic cone over his head actually had a more effective strategy than she did. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about these because they were super silly. They both came up with pretty creative plans on how to be a scumbag, and one of them so far has got away with it. The other one is at least facing charges, so that's good that she's, been caught. And I guess we'll see if the traffic cone supervillain pops out of hiding at some point again in the future. But anyway, that's about it. So yeah.